Welcome back to another Get Your Head in the Cloud episode. I'm your host, Victor Rozier.
And I'm your co-host, Todd Williams. Today, we're diving into a topic that's on everyone's mind, the nCino talent enigma. It's a complex issue, and we're going to try to unravel it for you today.
That's right. nCino, it's this product that's built on the Salesforce platform, and it has significantly impacted the banking industry. Its unique focus on banking operations, combined with this adaptable Salesforce environment, has really made it an appealing choice for organizations aiming to enhance efficiency and foster innovation. Let's take a look at this slide. It's clear from various sources that there's a significant demand for Salesforce specialists, which includes nCino, and that talent pool is not keeping up with this demand.
But this demand for nCino contractors has created a formidable challenge, particularly in major U.S. cities. The scarcity of the talent not only is a recruitment obstacle, but a strategic dilemma for far-reaching implications for businesses and operations for future growth.
And it's really because the skill set that's required for these roles is really not commonplace. It calls for really a holistic understanding of the nCino platform, as well as the banking operations, right? Understanding the industry.
Right.
In addition to the Salesforce ecosystem. So it's really a trifecta, if you would. You need to understand the industry, you need to understand the specific platform, as well as Salesforce in general. And this disparity really is a result of really is creating an industry-wide talent shortage because of the complexity as to the skill sets needed. So this demand is really far outstretching, if you would, or outstripping the supply of talent that's in the workforce right now.
Victor, that's a great point. It's not just about filling these roles. It's about unlocking the latent potential within the nCino ecosystem, an opportunity for companies to catalyze innovation and drive operational efficiency. However, this journey to bridging that talent gap, it's multi-layered. It's a demanding and a nuanced process to understanding the landscape of what actually nCino is and what it does. The capability of the platform, especially in forms with connections of potential new hires, know what type of strategic foresight that is going to lead you.
No, correct. And the nCino landscape is vast. And we must say that it's not just nCino, but it's other platforms as well that's infiltrating the banking industry as well. But what we're talking about today is very clear that this nCino talent is really a complex issue, right? But having the right strategies and really a proactive approach will really help organizations become more effective in navigating with this talent shortage.
The ever-evolving nCino and Salesforce landscape, the demand for this specialized talent, it's not going anywhere. It's highly substantial. The continuous requirements likely are to intensify as the platforms evolve and more banks adopt, the technology. So organizations, they need to shift from a more reactive approach, a more needs-based recruitment strategy, to being more proactive. They need to anticipate to meet this scaling demand.
For sure.
According to Statista, the global public cloud service market was expected to reach $482 billion by 2022. That's up from $272 billion by 2018. This indicates a steady rise in the adoption of cloud-based technology in the banking sector.
Yeah, so that's almost doubled, and that was pretty much last year with the statistics. So imagine what it is today as more organizations is adopting cloud-based technology. So where do we fit in all these? We are a proactive talent acquisition company, so having us involved per se involves establishing and really cultivating the pipelines, which we do, I might say, very well. But it also serves as really a reserve for potential candidates and really preparing those that's coming into the ecosystem to fill those positions as they become available, which I think is key. Training, education, really allowing or communicating to potential candidates what's before them. Having this type of forward-thinking strategy really focuses us on building relationships as well as prospective hires, right? So as demand arises, we are ensuring that there's a pool of qualified candidates And in general, this will really add to the ecosystem. So when it's needed, it'll be there.
Victor, exactly. Our thorough understanding of the various job market trends, it puts us in a position to really understand what skill sets, are going to be in high demand. We can forecast upon that. We have insight into what other banks are doing and why they're doing it. And we've been trying to do is devise, certain targeted programs to not only attract and engage these, potential nCino technologists, but to also retain them, to grow them. This could range from your very first step as an internship to having, a professional mentorship with the actual practitioner, to educational institutions skilling up for development.
Yeah, that's a good point. Internships and mentorships are very important in really any industry, but specifically when you're thinking about demand versus a short supply, I think this is ever more important, internships and mentorships. It's something that we really support and really encourage and would love to be a part of that process with other organizations seeking to do that. As you see this slide, according to a report by Deloitte, only 27% of banks launched a digital transformation strategy in 2021. This indicates that many banks and credit unions may be lagging behind in digital transformation. And this is surprising because also we're seeing a shortfall, if you will, or organizations are really maybe taking a tapping a toe into the water type of approach and not really going all in. Our point here is that organizations that really gain a competitive advantage are those who are really proactive in their approach and really cultivating that talent pipeline. Mm-hmm. These organizations experience a reduction in their time to hire, creating a seamless business continuity, if you would. These organizations are really better prepared to handle unforeseen employee turnover, and they can also respond swiftly, if you would, to the requirements of new projects. These type of companies enhance their agility and their overall organizational resilience by proactively nurturing their talent pipeline.
Absolutely. But, it's not just about competitiveness. It's about taking the lead and driving the change and shaping the future of digital banking. Through embracing these types of insights, various organizations, they position themselves as pioneers, as actively contributing to the transformation that has already been noted in process, but they're taking the forefront of that. And that's where Alleaz as an organization, from a talent perspective, wants to find ourselves by enabling that approach.
Let's talk about the process of acquiring talent for nCino positions. It's not just about filling vacancies, is it?
Absolutely not. It involves unlocking the latent potential within the nCino ecosystem. It's an opportunity for companies to catalyze innovation, drive operational efficiencies. However, the journey to bridging that gap from a talent perspective is multi-layered, and it demands a nuanced understanding of the entire nCino landscape. The capability to form meaningful connections with potential hires, that type of strategic foresight is going to pay dividends down the road. And that's what we're looking at right now.
It's a good point. So let's look at this next slide. It says, according to PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, financial institutions are moving to the cloud as quickly as they can. However, many of them say their ability to unlock value is lagging. Also, McKinsey report that banks' cloud spending is forecast to grow almost 2.8 times faster than their overall IT budgets for the next 4 years. Huge. So to understand that this nCino or cloud banking landscape comprehensively is really essential for organizations as well as us on the talent side to grasp the various facets, right? Mm-hmm. This includes like the features of the application, how the integrations work, and really how does that technology apply to the sector, the banking sector, if you would, and then the skills that's needed to actually implement that. So it's really multifaceted, right? So this understanding, and I think we have it, at least in part, is really vital in crafting precise job descriptions, right? And establishing realistic expectations. The bottom line is that it's really multifaceted when understanding these applications and what it takes for a financial institution or institutions to adopt this new type of technology.
What I've seen really work is forming highly meaningful connections with potential hires. And to sustain that, it requires a transition from your more transactional type of relationship building. It involves understanding, a person's aspirations and then aligning those with the potential, right? Matching that to the company culture and the goals. Those connections, they foster a sense of belonging, a purpose in candidates, making them likely to choose your company versus your competitor. And these are the things that we see on a regular basis, that we hear on the front lines, both from, the organizations, the banks that are hiring, for the specific talent, but also that are providing the admin and development services. They really want to have that type of meaningful connection.
No, for sure.
McKinsey reports that only 7% of surveyed banks had achieved full integration of key analytics use cases. That's just 15% of respondents that believe their bank leadership makes decisions heavily based upon reliance on those analytics.
So strategic planning really for future needs is really about anticipating the changes in the nCino ecosystem, as well as the broader banking industry, right? This really requires staying abreast of the technological advancements, regulatory changes, which is key. Regulatory changes because banks are highly regulated. So that is key, because in developing and implementation of this technology, that really has to be thought about as well. And really just evolving the customer expectations.
Let's talk more about the impact on these strategies in the digital banking landscape.
Sure. So this slide here says, according to McKinsey, over the past year, banks have been reskilling their workforces rapidly and at scale, taking advantage of the efficiencies available from skill adjacencies. So that's key. So the insights that we're really discussing today is really invaluable for any companies aspiring to flourish within the nCino community, but we will want to go a step further and just say in the digital banking community at large. Mm-hmm. It really goes beyond mere competitiveness, right?
Sure.
It entails taking the lead in driving change and really shaping the future of digital banking and really actively contribute to the transforming of the digital banking sector.
100%. But it's not just about the organization. It's also about the people who comprise those organizations. Once we understand, the nCino landscape and, the specific skills it demands, the individual can better position themselves for success in this rapidly evolving ecosystem.
And it's really not just about skills, Todd, right? It's really about the mindset. By embracing a proactive approach and really cultivating those meaningful connections, the individuals really can enhance their career prospects and really contribute to the growth and success of their organizations.
Absolutely. It's also about taking change, driving that change, shaping the future of digital banking. By embracing these insights, organizations can position themselves as industry pioneers and actively contribute to a transforming digital banking sector.
It's not really all about the organizations, right? It's about the individuals who are a part of these organizations. By understanding the nCino landscape and the specific skills that it demands, individuals can really better position themselves for success.
And with that, we've had another episode of Get Your Head in the Cloud. We hope you found our discussion on nCino Talent Enigma insightful and beneficial.
We certainly did, and we really look forward to bringing you more discussions on the latest trends and issues in the cloud computing world.